about coming into caucus day?
Feel good. There's a lot on the line here, and I think it's going to be very close and maybe bunched at the top, but I'm feeling good.
Yeah. So when you're feeling good, can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yeah, no, I think there's so much at stake in this election, and it starts here in Iowa. This is the starting gate. There's where the democracy begins. And I think that you have to take a look at what it really is at stake. I mean, we have a president who, in fact, is taking us down a road that does not reflect who we are, whether it's on immigration or healthcare or anything at all. And so I think there's a lot we should have to focus on. And when I go around the state, people are asking me about healthcare. They're asking me about what we're going to do about climate. They're asking me about why are we not investing in education? Why are we not, and so on. So people are very, very informed and very concerned and very interested. And they know that 4 more years of Donald Trump, at least on the Democratic caucus side, 4 more years of Donald Trump is going to change the nature of who we are as a country. And they're looking for who can get elected, number one. Number two, who can get their agenda passed if in fact they get elected. Because they're all progressive agendas, and it's going to be a game changer if we can pass them.
Yeah, so electability is a big issue, I think, in Iowa, and a lot of voters have that on their mind. So looking back at 2016, when Hillary won by a really thin margin, how do you see a moderate candidate being able to pull ahead this time around?
Well, I don't consider myself moderate. I know I'm AOC and others suggest I'm this moderate person. Look, we all have progressive plans. If I get elected, I might be able to put in place my plans on foreign policy, on domestic policy. I promise you we'll go down as the most progressive administration in American history. So this idea of who's progressive, who's not progressive, I find to be a false argument. And so I think that the next president's going to have to unite the party, unite the country, and deal with the world in disarray. And they got to be ready on day one to stand up and address the world, know the players know them, and have a clear view of who our friends are and who our opponents are. And reassure our friends and reassure our opponents that we are back.
Yeah. So your wife was in the Quad Cities area a few days ago, and you guys were kind of hitting up those more rural areas. So why did you feel it was an important area to hit, especially in the few days leading up to the caucus?
Oh, look, the Quad Cities area is sort of America. I mean, you think about it. There's a lot of union people, a lot of hardworking people like where I come from. There's a lot of people who, in fact, are struggling and were able to do very well in an economy that was working for them. But they're union people, not just all, but they're union people as well. And so they've been hurt badly. The middle class has taken a real hit. The working class has difficulty rising up. We're no longer the wealthiest middle class in the world. Look what this president's trade policy has done to manufacturing, not to John Deere, to manufacturing across the country. So I think that they reflect what I find all across America, a desire to say, look, just give me a chance. Give me a chance. Let's even the tables again. And let's have a president who we can look to and trust their judgment. And trust that look, the words of a president matter. When a president's words can send a nation to war and it can bring peace, but it can also breathe hate that brings out the seamiest side of society out from under the rocks. And I think people are tired of the bitterness. As one person said to me very recently, if my kids talk like, if I talk like the president talks, my mother would have washed my mouth out with soap. And he wasn't kidding. I mean, our kids are listening. And these are hard-working, decent, honorable people. They just want a chance.
Yeah. So making that last-minute push in the Quad Cities, why should people from that region caucus for you tonight?
Well, I think because they know how strongly I'm facetiously referred to as middle-class Joe, and it's not meant as a compliment because I'm not sophisticated, but I know who built the country. Average, hard-working people given half a chance. And this is not hyperbole. The people have never, ever, 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 ever let their country down in war and peace when they've been given a chance. And they're being cut out now. But they're being cut out. And so I think it's critically important that they understand, number one, who's most likely to beat Trump, who can help bring along a Democratic Senate so we're in a position and keep a Democratic House so we can in a position to make the significant changes on healthcare, on the environment, on education, on access to education that are in fact a trade policy that makes sense where we're once again the manufacturing capital of the world.